blocks, instance block and static block.
Yeah, guys, yesterday class we're discussing instance and static blocks basically. Instance and static blocks. Today I'll complete that blocks concept, guys. Yesterday almost all completed a blocks concept. Yeah, good. As you know, syntax of instance and static block, right? So instance means just open brace, closure brace. Static block means what? Static open brace, closure brace. This block is called what? Static block, right? Exactly. And see the point, one small point here. If you take the class demo class, if you take the class demo class contains one static block, guys. One static block. Then you can write the message like system dot. Yeah, system dot out dot println of. Simply can write this is my which class demo class static block, right? Demo class static block, guys. Like class demo I declared this is like demo class static block I declared here. And the demo class contains one method like void wish method. Void wish method, it's saying simply good morning message. The system dot out dot println of. Simply can write the message like good morning, right? That's it, guys. Guys, I have the class demo class, and so demo class static block here, and wish method is sending a good morning message, right? Wish method is saying like good morning message, guys. That's it. See, I want to load this demo class. To load this demo class, guys, when you create the object of demo class, demo d equal to what? New demo. When you create the object of demo class, then first of all, class is loaded, then object is created, right? Yes or no? When you're trying to create the object of demo class, then what happened? First of all, class is loaded, then object is created, right? Yeah, first class is loaded, then object is created. So first class is loaded, then object is created. During class loading time, then demo class static block execute or not? Hmm? Demo class static block will be executed, right? Exactly. So Java the file is called what? Test.java. Code is compiled, fine. Java the class is called which class, guys? Here test class. Okay. See, I have the demo class here. Demo class contains one static block. When you create the object, then what happened is, first of all, class is loaded. During class loading, what happened here? The static block will be executed, right? So this is like demo class static block will be executed. Then it is printing good morning message, right? Exactly. See, when you're trying to create the object of particular class, the class is loaded. Then object is created, so the static block will be executed, right? That is one case, the static block executed, guys. And another case is I want to load the static blocks program. I want to load this class programmatically. Okay. To load this class programmatically, guys. So we have to use the for name method. Okay. To load the class programmatically, I want to load this demo class, guys. To load the demo class, we have to use which method here? For name method. And if we take for name method, for name is a static method, guys. How can we call a static method using class name? The class name itself is called class. Okay, the class name itself is called what? Class, right? Then we have the class dot class dot what? Class dot for name method, right? Exactly. Class dot for name. I want to load which class here? Give that class name, demo class. That's all, guys. Just I'm loading the class. That's it. Guys, for name is a method used to load the class. For name is a static method which is belongs to the class concept. That's what I'm calling class dot for name of. I'm loading which class here? Demo class, right? That just I'm loading which class here? Demo class, right? Exactly. Then you can compile this code. Definitely code is compiled fine. Oh, it goes as some exception, guys. To handle that exception, simply can write the throws keyword. Throws exception. Throws exception, right? That's it. If you write the throws exception, Java C test.java, code is compiled fine. Java class is called test class. See, guys, the class is loaded or not? Guys, demo class is loaded, right? Because demo class loaded, that's what demo class static block executing, right? Guys, yes or no? Demo class is loaded or not loaded? Definitely demo
Uh,
class is loaded, right? That's what the demo class static block is executing, right? Yeah, that is information, guys. Demo class static block executing, right? Good. See, guys, actually it will load the class. After loading, for the loaded class, I have to create the object, guys. See, guys, from advanced Java onwards, we are not responsible to create the objects. Who is responsible, sir? Underlying servers are responsible, like Tomcat server, Glassfish server, Java server. These are servers are responsible to create the objects. If the servers are responsible to create the objects, then server will load the class. The server will load the class using for name method. The server will load the class using which method here? For name method. For the loaded class, server is creating object. Yeah, for the loaded class, server is creating object using one method like new instance method, guys. Guys, for the loaded class, server is creating object. See, to load the class, I'm using class.forName, guys. After loading, it returns the data like class concept, guys. Return the class object. Guys, it returns which object here? Class object, which is pointing to demo class. Now, C is pointing to loaded class, right? For the loaded class, I want to create the object. For the loaded class to create the object, we have to use which method, guys? Here, new instance method. Okay, server internally load the class using forName method, and server will create the object of loaded class. Okay, server will not use this new keywords basically. Directly it will not use load new keyword. First of all, server has to load the class. Server load the class by using forName method. Why means, first of all, server is trying to load the class. If the class is available, class is loaded. If class not available, you get the class not found exception loading itself. Okay. After loading the class, server will create the object using which method here? New instance method, right? Exactly. Guys, but new instance method will create the object. Which class object you will create? Guys, new instance method will create which class object?
Demo class.
Demo class
Demo
object.
class.
That's what here we have to typecast which format, guys, here? Demo class. Typecast demo class. Then you can write the demo D, right? That's it, guys. Then you trying to print the data. The system not printing. Once the demo class object is ready, d dot which method we have to call, right? That's it. As second case, we can see we got the output is demo class static block and good morning message. We got the both information or not? We got the both information, right? Exactly. That is a demo class static block and a good morning message, right? Exactly, guys. Guys, I'm repeating this code again. Just try to check the point. To load the class, I'm going for the class dot forName method. ForName is a static method which belongs to the class concept. Class dot forName method, it will load which class, guys, here? Demo class. It will load the demo class and it returns which object, guys, here? Class object. Okay. C is pointing to the loaded class. For the loaded class, I want to create the object means C dot new instance method. New instance method will create the object of which class? Guys, new instance method will create the object of which class? Demo class. That's what we have to typecast which class, guys, now? Demo class, right? Then demo D. That's all, guys. Then you can go for the D dot which method, right? To create the object of loaded class, we can go for the which method. Code is compiled fine. Code is executed fine. We got the demo class static block, right? Demo class good morning, right? Exactly, guys. So here we understood that when you create the object, the class is loaded, static blocks executed. Second one is what? To load the class programmatically, we are using forName method. Guys, to load the class programmatically, we are using which method here? forName method, right? Yeah, exactly, guys. Yeah, what the point? Tell me, guys. The first point is when the static block execute. First point. So when the object is created, the class is loaded. Yes, when the object is created, class is loaded. When the object is created, the class is loaded. The static blocks will be executed, right? The static blocks will be, yeah, static blocks will be executed. That's the first case, guys. For the second case here, guys, for the second case, when we load the class, using, yeah, when you load the class using forName method, the class is loaded. Tell me, guys, the class is what? The class is loaded. Yeah, loaded. The static blocks will be executed, right? The static blocks will be executed, guys. Are you clear now? The static blocks are executed. And to load the class, use which method, guys? Use forName method, comma. It is a static method of which class, guys? Here, class. The static method of class. Yeah. To create the object of, tell me, guys, to create the object of loaded class. To create the object of loaded class, to create the object of loaded class, yeah, to create the object of loaded class, use which method, guys, here? Use which method here? New instance method, right? That's the point, guys. Guys, I hope you got the clarity about these two statements, right? The first statement is When I create the object, the class is loaded. When you create the object, the class is loaded. The corresponding static blocks executed. Second case is what? To load the class programmatically uses the for name method, right? To load the class using for name method. When we load the class using for name method, the class is loaded, the static block will be executed. To load the class, use the for name method, and it is a static method of class. To create the object of loaded class, use new instance method, right? Yes, use which method? New instance method or not? That's that, guys. There's example one. Yes, any questions, please? The two things, guys. Basically, second approach is used by servers. From advanced Java, who will create the object means the server will create the object. Server loads the class. Server loads the class using for name method. Server load the class using for name method, and server will create the object using new instance method. That's one example for today class, guys. And second example, I will talk about regarding methods. I'll talk about regarding methods. See why the add method is there. Add method is generally expecting the two arguments. Assume like integer a and integer b. Just I am printing addition of two arguments. The system dot out dot println of a plus b, right? Exactly. Then you can take the void multiplication method. In the multiplication method, the system dot out dot println of. So you can write the something like I star j, I and j values, because expecting like integer I comma integer j, right? That's it, guys. Then you can declare the main method. The syntax of main method: public static void main. Then you can write the string array RJS, right? String array RJS. Open the base. Then tell me, guys, you want to create the object of that class test b equal to new test of. Then we have to call the t dot. Guys, t dot add method by passing the two arguments. T dot multiplication method by passing the two arguments, right? T dot add, just let me pass the 10 and 20. T dot multiplication pass the 4 comma 5, right? Let's pass the 4 comma 5. Guys, are you clear now? That is information basically. Then you can compile this code, guys. This is a basic example. Okay, code is compiled fine, code executed fine. We got the output is 30 and 20 because addition is 10 plus 20, 30. Multiplication is what? 4 plus 5, 4 star 5, 20, right? Exactly. Yes, we got the output there. But here output is not important, guys. We have to check the stack memory for this example. Guys, said memories, right? Memories in Java. First memory, let me go with the stack memory, detailed explanation about the stack memory. It's actually when execution starts from main method, this is my application here. This is my code, right? Yeah, this is my application, guys. Whenever execution starts from main method, tell me, guys, whenever execution starts from main method, the JV will create one stack memory, one empty stack for this application, guys. Guys, JV will create what? One empty stack for this application, basically. Before calling the main method, the JV will create what? One empty stack for this application, guys. Empty stack is ready. After empty stack is ready, then JVM calling the first method. What is the first method? Tell me, guys. Guys, JVM calling the first method. What is the first method? JVM calling the
Main
first
method, static.
method, right? Exactly. Starting with main method, right? Exactly. Guys, before calling the main method, the JVM will create one empty stack for this application. Then JVM start calling the main method. Whenever the main method is called, immediately the main method name, what the name of the main method? Simply main, right? The main method name and corresponding local variable, guys. Test t equal new test. If you observe this line like test t equal new test, what about test t equal new test, guys? In test t equal new test t is just a variable name, right? Guys, test t is just a
Yes.
variable name or not?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
test
sir.
t is just a variable name. What about new test? New test is basically object, right?
Object
Yeah,
object creation.
object creation, right? Exactly. Test t basically, which is stored in the stack memory, guys. T is a reference variable. Guys, where it is stored? which is stored in the which memory here? Stack memory basically.
Stack
Is
memory.
stored in the stack memory. What about new test? New test is a basically object. Where this object is stored means this object is stored in the heap memory. That's where this object is stored. This object is stored in the heap memory. So don't think like test t equal new test means everything is stored in the heap memory. Test t is just variable name. This variable where it is stored as stack memory. That's what test t. Before calling the main method, JVM will create an empty stack. Once it is calling main method, then what happens guys? It stores the main method entry.
Contains.
Exactly. And local variable also stored in the stack memory guys. This is the T is a local variable, right? Yeah, this is local variable also stored in which memory guys? Stack memory, right? Exactly. Is that it clear now? Local variables is stored in which memory? Stack memory, right? Exactly. First line is completed guys. After that it is trying to call which method, then tell me? Yes, it is trying to call which method? First
Add method.
calling the main method. The main method is storing the corresponding variable with okay, the corresponding value, right? Yeah. So main method is storing the just like this is a main method and a t variable, right? And after that it is calling which method guys? After it is calling the add method, right? Whenever the JVM calls particular method guys, that method name and local variables are stored in the stack memory. That method name and local variables are stored in the stack memory, which is like add method. So like a equal 10, b equal 20. These two variables are where it is stored guys, which is stored in the stack memory, right? Exactly. Which is stored in the stack memory guys. Now see these output ones. Okay, test t equal new test. Test t is value is stored in the stack memory. Add, when the JVM calls the add method, then add method name and local variables are stored in the stack memory. And JVM calling the add method means just it is doing a plus b addition, right? Yes, a plus b addition means what's output now?
20.
What is output now?
Say 30.
10 plus 20 is
30.
50, right? Whenever the 30 output is printed, whenever the 30 output is printed, I think add method is completed, right? Add method is completed or not? Once the add method is completed, which is automatically removed from stack memory, guys. Guys, which is automatically removed from what? Stack memory. Now again, stack contains how many entries? Only one entry. What is that entry, guys? Here, main entry, right? Guys, yes or no? Again, stack contains only one entry, so which is like main entry, right? Main and T, guys. That's it. Then what the conclusion guys here? Whenever the JVM calls particular method, that method name and local variables are stored in the stack memory. Once the output is printed about this method, that is automatically removed from stack memory, guys. That's what this local variable scope is, what only within the method, right? Guys, yes or no? That local variable scope is what
Yes.
within the method or not? Hmm?
Local variable.
Exactly, guys. So add is completed. After completion of add, JVM calls one more method. Which method, guys? Multiplication method, right? Exactly. This calling like multiplication method means that what happened? Tell me now. It is a stack contains main method. Yeah, stack contains main method. Then it is calling which method, guys? Yeah, guys. Then it is calling which method? Multiplication method, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's calling multiplication method. Yeah, still main method is not complete, guys. That's what local variable still is available. Then it is calling which method means multiplication method, right? Multiplication method I equal to 4, j equal to 5, right? That's it, guys. I think output is what 4 into 5 means you'll get output is 20. 20 means once you'll get the output, yeah, once output is printed, guys. Then what happened? I think multiplication also removed from stack memory, right? If multiplication also removed from stack memory means again the stack contains how many entries, guys? Only yes,
One
again
entry.
it contains only one entry, right? What's that entry, guys? Here main method. See, guys, after the multiplication, I think main is also complete, right? Again, main also complete means what happened, guys? Main is also deleted from the stack memory. Main is deleted and this t variable also deleted, right? Guys, once this t variable deleted, this object contains any name. Guys, once the main is completed, the main is deleted and local variable t also destroyed, right? Once the t is destroyed, then tell me, is that main contains any, like, sorry, that object contains any reference here? Guys, that object contains any reference? There is no reference, right? An object
No,
without
no reference.
reference, that will be garbage collected, guys. An object without reference, that is called garbage collector, right? It means garbage collector will destroy that object automatically. Guys, are you clear now? Yeah, that's what, guys. An object without name is called nameless object. The nameless object is automatically collected by garbage collector. Hmm? Guys, that's what. Who will create the empty stack, guys? The JVM will create the empty stack before calling the main method, and JVM will destroy the empty stack after completion of main method, right? Guys, I hope you got the clarity about the empty stack, right? Who will create the empty stack, guys? The JVM will create the empty stack before calling the main method. Before calling the main method, JVM will create the empty stack. Then it is calling the main method. Then main method is stored in the stack memory. In the main method is calling the add method. Add is stored. Once add is complete, then what happened, guys? Which is automatically destroyed, right? Yes or no, guys? Automatically destroyed, guys. That is information basically. Yes, are you clear? The empty stack is created by JVM before calling the main method, and empty stack is destroyed by JVM after completion of main method, right? Yeah, that is called your empty stack information, guys. Guys, any questions about this stack memory? I hope you got the clarity, right? What is a stack memory? What it will store?
Sir, there's one more memory called heap memory.
Yeah, this is called heap
So,
memory.
so,
Mm.
so how this? I mean, both are same stack memory and heap and heap memory.
Both are same. So what the heap memory will store, man? Objects will store in the heap memory, right? Instance variable where it is stored, heap memory, right? Whatever this A and B variables, guys, local variables. I said clearly, the local variables are stored in the stack memory. Whatever instance variables are stored in the heap memory, right? Objects are stored in the heap memory, right? So every memory it's having its own importance and its own data. Don't think like everything is stored in the single memory, right? Yeah. So there's a second
Okay.
example, guys. That is called which one here? Stack memory working, right? Yeah. Who will create the stack memory, guys? JVM will create the empty stack. JVM will create the empty stack. When it is created, guys, JVM will create the empty stack. So before calling the main method, and JVM will destroy the JVM will destroy the empty stack after completion of. Tell me, guys, after completion of.
After completion of object test, right?
After completion of main method, right? After completion of what main method, right? Exactly. Yes, JVM will create the stack memory before calling main method. JVM will destroy the empty stack. JVM will destroy the empty stack after completion of main method, right? Exactly. What the main method store is when the JVM calls particular method. When JVM calls the method. Tell me, guys, when JVM calls the method, the method name and the local variables. Because the method name and local variables are stored in which memory here? Method name and local variables are stored in the stack memory. Once
Stack
the method
memory.
is completed, once method is completed, tell me, guys. When the JVM calls the method name and local variables are stored in the stack memory. Once the method is completed, uh, hmm, the local
Object is
variables, yeah, the local variables are removed from stack memory, right? The local variables and method names
that's
removed from, yeah, removed from which memory, guys? Here, removed from stack memory, right? Exactly, guys. Guys, I hope you got the clarity about the stack memory, right? Who will create the stack memory? What the stack memory hold? Okay. When the JVM calls the particular method, the method name and local variables are stored in the stack memory. Once the method is completed, those are automatically removed from stack memory, right? Right, those are automatically removed from what? Stack memory. Sorry, clear now.
sir.
Tell me.
Sir, one
Yeah.
query. Garbage collection. You told right?
Ah.
Garbage collection.
You have the topic.
This is the garbage collection, huh?
No, no, no. No, what I'm saying, like, once this method is completed, main is completed, test t variable destroyed, right?
Correct.
Where is this t variable stored in the
Yeah.
method entry, right? Once the
Yeah. Method only. Local way.
local variable, right? Once the method is completed, what happened here? Local variable destroyed, right?
Correct.
Um, yeah, local variable destroyed means the object contains any name, no name, right?
There is.
No name means what happened here? Nameless object, right? Then nameless object will be displayed
Yes.
by garbage collector automatically. That I'll tell you later.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Good. Yeah, that is example 2, guys, for today class. Example 3. Yes, example 3, you tell me the answer for this code. I hope you got the clarity about the stack memory working, right? I have the void m1 method, and here I'm calling just m2 method. I'm calling here m2 method. I'm calling in m2 method. Simply I'm calling m1 method. Guys, this case what the output now? In the main method, I'm calling m1 method. In the main method, I'm calling m1, guys. First of all, the stack memory contains which variable? Which method? Yes, with this code, first of all, stack memory contains what is the method?
Main method.
Main method. Main is calling
Main
which
method.
method? Next entry is what?
Main is calling
M1.
M1 method.
M1 is calling.
M2.
M2 is calling.
M2 is calling M1.
M1 is calling. Guys, in this case, what happened? Keep on the entries will be stored like this. See, guys, once the method is completed, then only destroyed. But is it methods are completing or not completing? Guys, here methods are completing or
Yes.
not completing? Here methods.
Not complete.
Sir, not completing. It's an indefinite chain, I think.
Indefinite chain means what? These entries are keep on stored into stack memory, right? Guys, these entries are
Yes.
keep on storing to stack memory means keep on storing. Then you'll get the error like stack overflow error, right? Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. When we call the methods
Yes.
recursively like this, guys, which keep on storing, which keep on storing. Guys, the methods keep on storing and generating exception like generating error like which error here. Stack overflow,
Stack
right?
Overflow.
Exactly. If you want, you can see the stack overflow error once. Coming to the stack overflow error, then code is compiled fine. Java the class is college class here, test class, right? See guys, the method enter keep on storing. At starting itself, you got the error like something like stack overflow error. Stack overflow error. Guys, when you call the methods recursively, which keep on storing into the stack memory, then you'll get the which error here, stack overflow error, right? Yeah, see guys here, what the error message here? Stack overflow error, right? Exactly, guys. See guys, because the methods keep on storing into the memory, so keep on storing into the memory, but still methods are not completed. If methods are not completed, you'll get the error is what the error, guys? Exception thread main java.lang dot stack overflow error, right? Java.lang dot what? Stack overflow error, guys. Is it clear now? There's a stack overflow information. Yeah, that is the three examples, guys. Example one is like there are two ways we can load the static blocks. When we create the object, the static blocks will be executed. Yes, when you create the object, static blocks executed. The first case, and second case is what? When you load the class using programmatically. When you load the class programmatically using for name method, the class is loaded. In this case, also static blocks execute, right? Exactly, guys. And second case is like second case like stack memory working. So who will create the stack memory? Who will destroy the stack memory? What the stack memory is holding? This information about the stack memory. This information about whatever stack memory, guys. Third example, exception thread main, guys. Stack overflow error because when you call the methods recursively, uh, yeah, or another is calling another method, other method is calling. This call recursively is calling. Then we'll get there like stack overflow error, right? Exactly, guys. Try to check the stack overflow error. And if you take one more example, example number 4, this is like stack overflow error, guys. Stack overflow error, and this is like stack memory working, and this is like class loading time, right? Exactly, guys. I'll give one small conclusion here. Yesterday, what happened? If you take the instance block inside the constructor name, class name must be same. I took this is like zero argument constructor. The system dot out dot println of this is how many argument constructor, guys? Zero argument constructor. Like that, I took one more constructor like one argument constructor. See, this is like integer a. This is how many argument constructor, guys? Yeah, this is like one argument constructor, right? Exactly. If I took the instance block, yesterday I clearly said when the instance block is executed, guys, when the instance block executed. Instance block executed during object creation, right? During object creation before construct execution, right? The system dot out dot println of, yeah, system dot out dot println of. Tell me guys, this is which block here? This is like instance block, right? This is like instance
Instance.
block, guys. Exactly. But observe one point here. This is like instance block means T1, T2 is there. This is like zero argument constructor, one argument. What is the output in this case, guys? Tell me. Here's our output.
Instance block, zero archi constructor. Instance
Instance
block,
block,
zero archi
zero argument
constructor.
constructor,
Again instance block, and then
one argument constructor,
zero,
right?
one archi constructor.
Exactly. Yes, instance block zero argument, one instance block, one argument, right? Exactly. Because I said like instance block is specific, common for all objects, right? For every object, instance block execute, right? Exactly, guys. See, instance block zero argument constructor, instance block and one argument constructor, right? Exactly, guys. The point is what happened, instance block is specific, common for all objects means during compilation, guys. What the compiler will do internally, the compiler will copy this code to every constructor, guys. Every constructor starting points, guys. The compiler will copy this code to every constructor starting point basically. So after compilation, what happened, guys? This code is copied to this place and this code is copied to this place also. In both constructors, this code is copied. Yes, after compilation, the compiler will copy the instance block code to every constructor first lines. If you want to see the dart class file, okay, I will show the dart class file. To show the dart class file, guys, go to the Google. Ask the Google, guys. So here we have the Java decompiler softwares. So Java decompiler softwares. Java decompiler online. Java compiler means what it will do? Guys, Java compiler means it will do the .java file to .class file, right? Java compiler. What the Java decompiler will do? Reverse, right? Guys, Java decompiler will do reverse, right? Exactly. So if you go for the Java decompiler, yeah, javadecompiler.com, here you can choose the .class file, guys. Upload and decompile. Choose the .class file. Let me choose this file, guys. See .jar and .class to Java decompilers. Just to choose the file, guys. Yeah, which file I want to choose. .class file in local disk E. I cannot that this is my test.class I want to check. Just open this test.class file, guys. So which .class file you want to see, just you can open the browse the .class file, upload and decompile. Upload and what? Decompile. Then it is uploading. After uploading, the below you will get .class file code, guys, basically. In the below you get the yeah, this is the .class file code. Guys, test.class are able to see, right? This is like .class file code. If you see the .class file code, yeah, this is like .class file code, guys. This is like after, okay, after compilation. After compilation, this is which code, guys, here? .class code, right? After compilation, .class code. This is like .class file code, guys. See, the constructor is copied to this argument. So no, guys, instance block is copied to both constructors, right? So after compilation, there is no concept like instance block, guys. The instance block code is copied to every constructor during compilation time itself. JVM point of view, there is no instance block concept. JVM point of view, that code is copied to every constructor or not? Guys, yes or no? JVM point of view, that code is copied to every constructor, right? Yeah, that is called one small conclusion, guys. That's it. So this is the code before compilation. Code. So before compilation, code before compilation, guys, which is like .java file code. This is like what the file, guys? .java file. This is the code after compilation. Guys, during compilation, what happened? During compilation, during compilation, the compiler will copy. Compiler will copy all instance blocks code to every constructor first line. Every constructor first lines. Yes, during compilation, the compiler will copy all instance blocks. Maybe 2 instance blocks codes are there, it's not a problem. All instance block code is copied to every constructor, guys. Yes, every constructor first line, right? Exactly. So JVM point of view, only we have which concept, guys? Yes, JVM point of view, only we have which concept? Only constructor constructor concept, right? So JVM point of view, we have only. Let me guess. We have only which point? We have only constructors, right? Yes, JVM point of view, have only constructors. That is the point, guys. Guys, you got the clarity, right? So the JVM, the compiler will copy instance blocks code to every constructor during compilation, guys. That is a fourth example. Guys, are you clear now? Good. And last fifth example, guys, this is your assignment. You try to complete the assignment. What is method recursion? Guys, what is method recursion? What is method recursion? Guys, what is method recursion means? Calling the method itself. Calling the method itself. Guys, calling the method itself is called, I'm calling myself, like calling the method itself is called which concept, guys? Calling the method itself is called what? Method recursion. Guys, Java supports method recursion or not? Definitely Java supports Java supports what? Method, okay, recursion concept. Yes, Java supports method recursion concept. Write an example. Guys, write one example about, yeah, tell me guys, write an example about method recursion. Guys, that point is clear. Write one example about method, okay, recursion. Guys, you got the clarity or not? What is method recursion means? Calling the method itself is called method recursion. One method is calling itself, guys. M1 is calling itself is called method recursion. Java supports method recursion or not means definitely it supports method recursion. Write an example about that method recursion, guys. Guys, write one example about what? Method recursion. Guys, today all about the conclusions. The conclusion one is like static blocks loading. The first example, like which one, guys? Static blocks loading. First example is like static block loading. When you create the object, the static block is loaded. Otherwise, when you load the class using programmatically, the static block is loaded. Second example, stack memory. How the stack memory will work? Just you can check this diagram, guys. Copy this diagram. Okay, good. And third example, stack overflow error. One method is calling another method is calling the same, like it's calling like data. So cyclic process. Then what happens, guys? You get these methods are keep on storing into stack memory, and still methods are not completed. Methods will not completed. Then generate exception, like which exception, guys? Guys, generating which exception? Stack overflow exception, right? Stack overflow error, guys. Example 4, like instance block, guys. After compilation, the compiler will copy the instance block code to all constructors, guys. The code is copied to all constructors. So JVM point of view, there is no instance block concept. JVM point of view, we have only constructor, right? There is no instance block, guys. And example 5 is like method recursion. Calling the method itself is called method recursion, guys. Java supports method recursion or not means definitely yes. Java supports method recursion. Calling the method itself is called method recursion. Write an example about the method recursion, guys. Guys, are you clear? Java decompiler software, guys. To check the dart class file, use the Java decompiler software. Okay. Guys, this point here. To check the dart class file code. Yeah. To check the dart class file code. Dart class file code. Use Java decompiler software. Java decompiler software, right? This is the yeah, this is the link for that, guys. Java decompiler software. Just javadecompiler.com. Just you can open javadecompiler.com, browse the file, dart class file, check the dart class file. Is the really code is copied to every constructor or not? Definitely we can see the code is copied to every constructor. If you want, you can try the 2 instance blocks, guys. Even 2 instance blocks also the code is copied to every constructor. No sir, can please show me once. Let me take the instance block 1, instance block 2, guys. Instance block 1, instance block 2. Let me first of all compile this code. Once if we compile this code, dart class file is ready. Once the dart class file is ready, then I have to browse this dart class file. So just to go up, java decompiler.com. Okay, then here we have to choose the file, browse the file. If we browse the file, test data I want to check, upload and decompile. Upload and decompile. It's loading. File name test data class. Job status compressing. Okay, this is the code, guys. I think instance block 1 block 2 is copied to first line or not. Here also block 1 block 2 is copied to first lines, right? Exactly. Even though if you take multiple instance, multiple blocks, guys, everything the code is copied or not. Exactly. Guys, this is the code after compilation. After compilation, yeah, this is the code after compilation, guys. Instance block 1 block code is copied to every constructor or not. Exactly, guys. Guys, are clear now? Yeah, so every, like, if you have the multiple instance blocks also, no problem, guys. So instance block 1, instance block 2, then block 1 code and block 2 code also copy to every constructor, right? That's it, guys. Guys, are you clear now? Just to try to check this point, guys. We're done with the class concept. We're done with the class concept. We'll meet in Monday class. We'll start the OOPS concepts, guys. Where we'll start OOPS concepts. Guys, any questions? Yeah, we're done with the class concept, guys. Try to check the class concept. Almost we done the day 8. Day 8. That's all, guys. Today I give my assignment. Try to complete the assignment. What is the method recursion? Because calling the methods, right? Calling the methods. What is the method recursion? Write an example about the method recursion. Yeah. Guys, that's all for today class. We'll meet in tomorrow. We'll continue. Bye.
Tomorrow Sunday.
Tomorrow Sunday, Monday.
Sir, tomorrow Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, Monday have the class. Sunday no class. Bye.
Okay. Thank you, sir.